consequence.
Yeah. Eventually, I worked for my dad. He asked me to join the board of directors in the university that he owned. So that was 2004 when I became a director of our own uni. My family owns a uni back in Philippines, and I'm still running it. When my dad died 2016, he gave his ownership to me. So I run it here from Australia, and I work at the board level, more on governance and decision making. So it's more that. One thing you'd learn also is this: in the corporate world, I'm using this as an example for life lessons now because I think most of the listeners will probably be thinking about what they will learn from this guy regarding the progression of their careers. Probably when you join the corporate world, you were always asked to find a way to get an opportunity to rise above everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. To get promoted, to climb up the corporate ladder. But then you start asking yourself, why am I doing this? There are several reasons why you should, I think. Number one is survival. When you work in a corporate world, it's going to be very competitive. That's why I tell everybody, don't be friends. Choose your friends outside. You were hired by the company to produce results, not to become friends. And that one of the biggest mistakes that you will have will probably become a friend to somebody here that you trust them so much that it becomes personal. You have to have a dividing line between what is professional and what is personal. And unfortunately, when you work in a corporate environment, there is no place for friendships. It always has to be professional at that level. All right. Um, in very practical ways. You know what I mean? A friend at work says, "Hey, can you just time me in? I'm going to be late. Can you time me in, please, so I don't
Okay.
lose money?" You know, that's very hard to say no to.
Those are very difficult situations. How would you say? I don't know. Would you say that you have a strong character, or what will be your views on character? I find it sometimes difficult in some circumstances.
Let's put it this way. You are the real you when you're alone. That's the real you. In terms of character building, you have to follow certain code of ethics that you believe in, and that will be your guiding principles on how you will work.
Mhm.
And the way I work is this: I'm friendly, but I don't make friends at work. All right. It's an added bonus, but what's of primary importance to me is to get the job done, getting the job done. And that's all part of survival. It's just a bonus that you become friends later on, but don't allow that friendship to muddle your decisions or the things that you do at work because you're being paid by the company to produce certain results, not to do favors for friends. And I hope you let your friends understand that way also. By doing that, you're now having a character of being a professional. That's professionalism on your part. Now, since you've adopted that line of thinking of being professional, you now want to survive. That's one of the reasons why in a corporate world where there's plenty of competition, you need to survive. But not just barely survive, because you don't want to stay at a low level for the rest of your life. Now,
Mhm.
some people will say, I'm contented with what I'm doing. Here's the problem: a new guy comes in, the economic environment has already changed, where the salaries have adjusted. You are still remaining at your low salary. And this guy to come on board needs to be paid whatever is the trend.
Mhm.
So you'll find yourself now finding a new guy on a job that you know better, that you're practically more experienced, and then he's new but has bigger pay. Now you're gonna fight for your pay. And good luck fighting for that new pay. But to him, it's automatic. See? So one of the things that you need to do now when you are now working in corporate environments, look for opportunities for you to climb up. So that when the new guys comes in, you're at least at par with them in terms of pay. Let's be practical. You're not working for free. You need to survive. You need to support yourself and your family, right? So
Mhm.
that's one way. One way. The other reason why you need to climb up is because you have to explore your potential. Some people are happy doing things that they're comfortable with, but are gifted and they never discover this gift, a talent, for example. See, what a waste when you are gifted with something and you never used it. Well, that gift should have been given to somebody else. But then you need to explore what this gift is all about, what you're good at. You know, when I discovered what I was good at, I knew I was good at speaking.
Okay.
But then I didn't know that I was good at making money for the organization, for the company. And then I discovered that I was quite detailed with the things that I did. I managed details. But I also discovered that there were things I was doing wrong. I was missing a lot of deadlines because I was a perfectionist. I would rather, at that time, I would rather have things perfect with no mistakes at the expense of missing my deadline. But this is what my boss taught me. He said, Nelson, I know you're a perfectionist. I know you want very high levels of quality. But if you're late in your submissions, that means nothing to us. Now do this. Learn to say it's good enough. You did your best and it's good enough. Then submit it on time. That's perfect. That's perfect. When I learned that, it was so hard to accept because I was telling myself, oh, I still could do it. But I said, no, 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 don't touch it. That's good enough. Now give it on time, and that's perfect.
That's very
It
difficult
takes,
to do. Being
yeah,
to control that feeling. I can relate to that. I'm sure more people can relate to that. That you want to change some details and to change and to change. Yeah, my girlfriend tells me the quote that I like, which is "done is better than perfect." So it's been a couple of months that I'm following that quote all the time when I had that feeling. And even by doing what we are doing right now and in other sessions I have had, it's just try to get it done however it goes and just put your mind in the next thing.
that's true. That's true. I almost lost my job before because of that. I was a director, remember? I was now one of the high. I was waiting for our big board meeting to happen. I had my presentation for the sales division. And so while waiting, I said, well, let me open up my presentation. Let's change a few commas, a few periods, a few dots here. When I saved, that thing hung. And we were about to start. So I told my boss, boss, I got the IT department. I think I lost my file. And he said, Nelson, the board of directors are here, the owners. I said, boss, I don't think I can do it now. I couldn't find, I don't have the backup. I said, all right. So he changed the topic. But then later on, he told me, Nelson, do you know that I almost fired you for that? So that's the time I said, if it's good enough, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
But what you lost? The file, the digital file, so you couldn't show the presentation?
Yeah, I lost it. I
Yeah.
lost it. That was a very important meeting. I was taking it like, it's easy for me to, I knew it by heart, but then I was just fiddling around with this little PowerPoint.
Mm.
I was, don't touch it. Don't touch it. That's, anyway, going back to my discussion earlier. So now going to why do you need to climb up aside from exploring your potential?
Mhm.
You need to climb up because you want to see how far you actually go. Uh, it gets lonely at the top, but you get paid really well. A
Hmm.
lot well. That you could never imagine how much these guys are getting paid. Now, why am I focusing on that? Again, let's be practical, guys.
Mhm.
Um, in the corporate world, you're there because you have passion for your work, but you're also there to explore ways by which you could support your family and retire peacefully,
Mhm.
right? And it's something that you need to see how far you go. Now, don't be frustrated if you never reach the very, very top. But when you see that you've reached a plateau, that you've tried everything and you're earning really good money, learn to be content with that. Get a lot to know that, get a lot of training to know that, try out a lot of opportunities. And where you see that you now have a limit of your competence, then that's the time you say, all right, I'm okay at this level. I've reached my peak. Unless, of course, somebody else comes to you and says, nah, Nelson, I know what else you can do.
Hmm.
Believe me, try this. See? Then you can discover some new things. Like this job, for example. Uh, I didn't get an interview for this. They knew I was capable of doing it. I was just not willing to do it because I was quite happy teaching. I was earning good money running my business. And yet they came up to me and said, Nelson, you're beyond teaching, Nelson. We need your help. We need your help. This organization needs a lot of your help for quality.
Mhm.
We don't want to suffer in the future. We're going to be audited. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing. And we know you know how to fix it. Please. So I said, okay, yes, sure. Oh, I'm with my new job, exploring a new things, learning a lot of new things, but seeing also that I'm helping the organization also in a way that nobody else can. Sergio,
Yeah.
even just well, even just yesterday, I get a lot of WhatsApp messages from groups of my students saying, Nelson, please come back. But I tell them, guys, look, I have a new role. I have a contract. And
Mm,
in as much as I'd like to be with my students, I really miss teaching. I really miss you guys. Don't get me wrong.
mm,
But a yes is a yes. That's called commitment. That's something that you also need to learn. Once you're committed, then you don't look somewhere else. You focus on what you committed on. Because if you keep on getting distracted and you lose focus, the chances for you to succeed in what you're doing will now become lower, will be at risk. So why risk it? And focus, get the job done. And once it's done, then think about the next thing that you need to do. That's what I always try to do. Uh, some people are multitasking.
mm.
To a certain degree, I'm not because I get distracted. It's probably one of my weak areas. Um, in general, women are very good in multitasking, but me, I'm not. So these are some of the things that you need to remember when you're doing this. All right?
Excellent. Nelson, I understand you migrate to Australia not long ago. What would you say for people who want to, for example, they have done their whole career in some country, I don't know, past 40s or I don't know what age, they
Mm-hmm.
they want to migrate to some other country. What
Mm-hmm.
advice would you tell them? I understand it might be scary.
Okay. Let's take, for example, if you want to, let's say, stay in Australia, I will use that as the grounds for what I'll be talking about. Um, First of all is commitment. You have to commit to whatever you want done. You have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you'll be trying out things and you're free to explore, but the chances of getting somewhere, you have to define where that somewhere is first. You have to be sure at a certain point in your life where you want to be and who you want to be. Let's use that. It's a good way of predicting the direction where you want to take. Okay, let me explain that in this context.
Mhm.
If you're a young person, you just graduated from school, explore because you have the time. Then discover who you want to be, discover what you enjoy doing. Great. Then commit to whatever you choose. And if you fail, you're free to try out something else. But as you get older, these choices become narrower. And there comes a point where time now is not on your side. So you have to become a little bit wiser this time. Remember, time is the worst enemy. Even Stephen Jobs never won against time with all his money and knowledge. All right. So the best thing to do is to make time your friend.
Mhm.
And to make time your friend, you have to be aware that time is always there and you have to be wise in using your time. So now you chose to go to another country. Take for example, you want to stay in Australia this time. So ask yourself now, do I really want this? And for sure, your answer is yes. So that's easy to say yes. The harder thing to say is the commitment behind the yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And no matter what it takes, no matter how hard it's going to be, and no matter how much the cost is going to be, I'm going to make sure that I'm committed to this decision that I made because nobody else will accept me. All right? It's the commitment. So now you commit to stay in Australia. So even before coming to Australia, I contemplated on my options. I could stay in my country, I was doing well, but then I wanted to come to Australia to be with my partner. I wanted to come to Australia to give a better life for my kids. I wanted to come to Australia to enjoy a higher standard of life by being a first world country. These were the things that I wanted. But most of all, what I wanted was peace of mind. I wanted to come here with no enemies, without pretending to be somebody big or somebody strong. I wanted to come here to be just me, where I can be me and feel at ease of being me. Because where I come from, I have to uphold a certain image. I have to, uh, you know, you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
have to find ways to protect yourself, things like this. But here, when you come, I said, I think I just need some peace of mind away from things that are troubling me. And there, with my partner, we can start a new life. So I decided to follow. So 6 months later, after my partner came here, I arrived. And there was no turning back. I told myself, once I get off the plane, that's it. I'm not going to go back home unless my plan is not followed. So the next thing after the commitment was the plan. I said, I'm going to have my 2 year plan, my 5 year plan, my 10-year plan. What's this? I said, 2 years, I got to get sponsorship or else I go home. 5 years, I got to get PR. If I don't, I have no reason to be in Australia, temporary, I go home. Then I said, 10 years, I'm PR, I have to buy a house.
Can be a
So,
challenge nowadays.
yeah, with that plan in place now, guided by the 2 years that I gave myself, I explored all opportunities to find sponsorship. There were a lot of money making opportunities for me. I'm very good at multi-level network marketing, the pyramid thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very good at that because with Nextel, the phone company that I joined, one of the divisions I designed and ran together with the CEO is that multi-level networking group, sales group that I put up. And I'm good at that. But when I came here, there were a lot of networkers who, hey, Nelson, hey, you're good at networking, join us. Let's say Amway, let's sell this, doTERRA, all these things that you recruit people to buy, you get a commission. I was never distracted. I told them, no, sorry, no.
You were
Unless,
focused.
of course, you guys are going to give me sponsorship. No, it's going to make you rich. You're going to make money. And maybe you get sponsorship. Oh, yeah, maybe. Sorry.
Mm.
I focus only on looking for opportunities, developing the opportunities to get sponsorship. I found sponsorship twice. My first sponsorship was a fail. And my mistake was I was too eager to get the sponsorship that I paid for the application. And
Okay.
so when the owner of the company decided not to continue, there was no loss for him because he didn't lose the money. I lost $6,500. And for a student, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Losing 6,500 was my savings. And I was like, gosh, what am I going to do? I lost it. So the second time I got offered sponsorship, and it was my own school that I went to that offered to hire me. And so I joined them after showing them a big marketing plan.
Mm.
And in 2 months, when I hatched the marketing plan, they were earning a lot of money. They said, Nelson, we want to sponsor you. So I said, yeah, up to you. But you pay. I'm not going to pay. You pay. And they did. So I got my sponsorship on the day my visa ended.
Oof. With the pressure.
The pressure. Imagine this, 7 p.m. on the last day of my visa. I call up the immigration lawyer and say, "Hey, how's my application for sponsorship going?" And he said, "Please put down the phone." I said, "Why?" "We have not submitted. We're trying to put it online. So bye-bye."
Hey.
What the heck? The guy who was supposed to bring the application to Parramatta was late. The office closed. And my visa was ending at midnight.
Oof.
So I was like, my goodness, what's going to happen to me? I'll be an illegal alien in a few hours. Do I go to the airport now, buy a ticket, get out of the country? What? How? I haven't had dinner yet.
Hmm.
So I called up one of my friends and I said, hey, this guy did not submit. And she was one of my best friends. She's one of my best friends. And she said, Nelson, at 9 o'clock, if he's not able to submit it online. Oh, by the way, the attorney was 86 years old, first time to submit online.
Okay. That was
She
wrong.
said, if he's not able to submit at 9 o'clock, I'm going to enter you as a student. So
Mm.
you get a bridging visa. All right. He calls up at 8:30, said, Nelson, it went through. Here's your case number.
Oof.
I almost died. I almost died. So I got my 2 year plan in place, now the 5 years. So I got sponsored by my school. I continued, and I was only 46 days late with my 5 year plan. I got my PR 46 days after that deadline I set for myself, 5 years. So more or less still on time.
Well done.
Then I applied for citizenship, and when I got it the following year, I applied for the visa of my kids. First time to board an airplane. 13 days later, they were here, and they both got PR now. 10 years, COVID hits. I
Mm.
wanted to buy the house. I could not. But then on the 11th year, I told my partner, after 1 year of COVID, I told her, looks like things are going to settle soon. Let's go for it. And we did. So we were able to move into our house 1 year late. Still good,
Sounds like
considered.
3 years, 5 years, and 10 years plan. It worked out
It
closely
worked out.
well.
Now I have my 6 year plan to able to be able to pay off the house in less than 30 years. That's my 6 year plan.
In less than 30 years.
6 years. I have to pay it in six.
In less than 6 years.
Yeah, yeah. I bought a house, 30 years to pay.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I'll be around by that time. I'm gonna make sure I pay it off in 6 years. So
Always.
then I have to find a way to do that. And part of that plan is what I'm doing now, plus my businesses,
Mm-hmm.
plus a few things down the line. I wish I could share it with you, but it's all a secret. But just to give you an idea, what I'm doing right now has something to do with what I want to do next, which is bigger,
Mm-hmm.
which enables me to retire, sit quietly at home, and enjoy while the house is being paid for. And I have to be able to do that within 6 years. So now, 1 year has already gone, 5 more years to go to ensure that this plan is finished. So everything that I did for the past year has been set up to continue for these 6 years.
It sounds like it is very important to have the goals or objectives very
You
clear.
have to be very clear where you want to be. That's the goal. The goal is where you want to be. You have to be clear with your objectives. You have to know the difference between an objective and a goal. The objectives are the things that you need to achieve to reach your goal. The third thing you need to know, aside from goals and objectives, is strategy. What will be the approach that you will be using in order to make your plans work to reach your goal? What strategy are you going to employ? And then you need to learn what the term tactics mean. What are the actions that you're going to do to help out your strategy to be implemented? How about this? Let me liken it to a football game. The goal is to win the game. The objective is to kick the ball into your opponent's goal more times than they can in 90 minutes. That's the objective. The strategy, let's say I'm going to use a lot of Colombian players on my side because I think Colombian players are probably the best in the world, or a mix of Colombians and Brazilians if they can play together.
Yeah.
That will be my strategy. And then we will be using tactics like what this guy does. He gets touched and starts rolling on the ground, hurt in the penalty area to get penalties. Those are tactics.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
so you have to know the difference between a goal and objective, a strategy, and tactics, and you put them all together. That's called a plan. But no plans work. And I will say this again. No, I don't accept anybody telling me they have a plan if they cannot show me the deadlines, the timeline, the time. It's not a good plan. It's not a plan if it has no time limits on it. Second thing I'm going to look at, budget. Can you afford it? And then third thing, quality. What quality standards are you following to ensure it is not just a good plan, but it's a great plan? Quality. Quality will separate you from all the other guys. Some people will achieve their goals, but missing their deadlines. So they will hit their goals at the right time, but then at the cost of a lot of money. So you need to watch your budget. So you were able to get all the things you need to achieve within the time frame, within budget, but at the expense of quality, poor quality. You were able to buy a house within your budget on time, but the quality of the house, the toilet doesn't flush. Not a good plan. So quality plays a very important role. And this is what I teach in project management. That's scope. The first thing I talk to you is scope. Those are your deliverables. Those are the things you need to achieve. Second is your time, your schedule. Third is your budget. And fourth are your quality standards. Those are the first four. There are other four elements, but start out with those four first. And to learn about things that you do, you want to stay in Australia, for example, you want to settle in another country. Know what you want. I talked to you about my 2-year, 5-year, 10-year plan. That's the time. Now, why am I working like this? Why am I running my business? It's the budget. And look at the quality of life that I am enjoying right now, the quality of my employment, the quality of the house that I bought, the quality of my lifestyle, the food that I eat, the clothes that I wear. That's all part of what I want. I mean, yes, you got a nice house that you could afford at the time that you wanted it, but you're eating cup noodles every day for the rest of your life. Come on, that's not living. See, you have to make a balance of these. In project management parlance, we call it the triple constraints. Remember? So you have to make those four things work together. The reason why it's called triple constraints is the one in the middle is supported by 3 elements outside. And you could interchange them. Each one affects each other. You have to remember that. Now, lastly, before I go, let me just share with you one thing, a life lesson that I would like you guys to learn. People ask me, Nelson, what's the secret to succeed? Arnold Schwarzenegger has his secret.
Difficult to succeed.
Jordan Belfort, The Wolf of Wall Street, has his 5 secrets, whatever. I have my 5 secrets.
All right.
First, it's why do you go to school? To increase your knowledge, right? Now, if you know everything, will you be successful? It's like what I tell everybody. When your stomach aches, do you go to your best friend, to your doctor?
To the doctor.
Oh, doctor, what's wrong with me? Doctor says, I know what's wrong with you. I have the knowledge. You have appendicitis and it needs to be operated on or else. Okay, so doctor, can you ask him to operate on you based on his knowledge? What's missing? So you ask him, doctor, have you done it? No, you're my first customer. So will you get operated by this doctor?
No.
No. So you ask the doctor, how many times have you done it? 2 times. Okay. Doctor says 50 times. Do you think he has experience?
A bit, but
Okay. 100 times. 100 times. He's done it 100 times.
yeah, that one sounds good.
So can he operate on you now? He knows and he's done it 100 times. Is it okay?
Yeah.
He cut you open. All right. So he said, doctor, how many survived? So he has the knowledge, he has the experience. So you ask him now, how many survived? It says out of the 100, one survived, 99 dead.
Okay, might not be the best one.
So what's missing? Starts with the letter S.
Yes, the
He has to be not just experienced, but also SKI.
scale.
Skilled, of course. He has to be good at what he does.
The skill, yeah.
Yeah, skilled. So you, to be successful, you don't only know, but you've done it many, many times that you're very, very skilled in what you do. That's what counts. So you ask the doctor, how many times you done it, doctor? He says, I've done it 1,000 times over and nobody died. They all went well. Now, can he operate on you?
Yes.
Oh, you said, doctor, please to operate on me. By the way, doctor, what school did you go to? Oh, I went to Greenwich to study medicine.
Yeah, not for medicine.
No, not for medicine. So what's missing? What's number 4? Starts with letter Q.
Qualification.
Qualification. Big
Yeah.
in Australia. You have to show the papers. You have to show evidence that you went to a quality training place. So the doctor says, don't worry. Here's my certificate. University of Sydney. College of Medicine. Number 1.
That's good.
Doctor, please, it hurts. And the doctor said, I don't know. Maybe 2 weeks from now, my schedule is free. I have to go to Thailand. We're all playing golf. By the way, can you afford me? Are you famous? Well, if you're not famous, you're not my client. What's missing? Starts with letter A. I fired people because of this. They had the knowledge, they had the experience, skill, very highly qualified, good record. I still fired them because of A.
Availability? No.
A double T.
Attention.
A double T I.
At the
A double T I T.
attitude.
Attitude.
Ooh.
Positive attitude. If you have a negative attitude, good luck becoming successful. People don't want to hang around negative people.
So what were the 5 again?
Knowledge, and not just little knowledge, plenty of knowledge, and the right knowledge, useful knowledge, relevant knowledge, experience, relevant skill, relevant experience, then highly skilled, and the right qualifications. That's proof that you can do what you can. And then the right attitude, positive attitude, helpful attitude, a people attitude.
I like
You
those
think you will be
5
successful.
keys for
That's the first 5. That's the first 5. That's the first 5. There's the next 5.
Okay.
You want to learn the next 5?
Yeah.
I don't teach people the next 5.
Okay.
Sometimes I do when I'm in the mode. But you know what the next 5 are?
No.
Number 6. I've seen people with all these 5, but some don't have this 5, but they have this number 6. You know what it is? Network.
Mm.
They have the network of contacts.
Mm-hmm.
They know who to go to, especially in our country. It's
Yeah.
who you know, not what you can do. It's who you know, right? Network of contacts. That's number 6. They can get things done for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's number 7? Talent. They're very talented. They're the only ones who can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered my talent. I know how to stitch leather. I taught myself how to do it. Now I have a motorcycle business. I didn't know I was talented. My dad, they put him in front of piano at the age of 4. On the first day, they put his hands on the piano. On the second day, he was pressing buttons. On the third day, he was playing naturally.
Mm.
That's talent. Nobody else has it. And you don't know why you have it, but you need to develop it. But what can you develop if you never discovered it?
Yeah.
So try things out to see where you're talented in. I'm sure that you have a gift. So that's number 7. Number 8 is luck. Luck. You're lucky.
How like?
I I don't believe in luck. You know what my definition of luck is? Luck is not something that just came and then, hey, there you go, lucky, I won the lotto. Woo-hoo. How did you win? Right time and the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Time goes like this, place goes like that. Sometimes they cross. In that intersection, that's the right time and the right place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that luck? Those are the lucky areas. But your line is here. You're not crossing. You're not trying things out. You're not at the right time. You're not the right place. You're doing nothing. So you have to do something to be at the right place or at the right time.
Mm.
Sometimes you're right time, wrong place. Right place, wrong time. So you have to find the intersection. Now you're at the right time and the right place. Is that lucky? Not yet. Are you prepared when the
Mm.
right time and the right place comes? There's a job opportunity, the right place, and it's there hiring now, especially when you need it. But where's the qualification? You were not prepared. Where's the skill? You were not prepared. Where's the knowledge? You were not prepared. So, is that lucky? That's still unlucky.
Mm.
But if you're at the right time, the right place, and you're prepared, to me, that's luck. You make your own luck. You seek out these opportunities, but you prepare. So when these opportunities come, it's just for you to grab. The school told me, Nelson, look, we like your marketing plan. You're one of the best students. Great marketing plan to make money for the school. We want to hire you only if you can teach.
Mm.
Then I said, well, here's my teaching qualification, Australian. What the heck? Where did you get that? Well, 6 months ago, one of my teachers told me, if you want to work in a place like this, take your TAE in another school. I did. So I finished it. Now here's my qualification to teach. Oh, am I hired? Says, you're in. Then I
Like.
got sponsored 2 months later because I was making so much money for them. That's luck. You make your own luck. That's number 8.
Yeah.
Number 9, money. Some people don't have anything, but they got money. So know how to use your money. Know how to use your money.
That can be very difficult sometimes to fully get that concept of money and saving.
Look, people think you have to have a lot of money, tons of money to be successful. No, 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 no. You know what I do? Uh, Once in a while, I bring people out for lunch. I pay for their meal. Then in the future, I need something from them. They do things for me. They don't know why. Only because I bought them lunch.
Mhm.
How much was the lunch? $15. What's $15? But look at the goodwill that you set up. They don't forget.
Mhm.
Money. Don't work for money. Make the money work for you. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it's strategically used. Money. And number 10,
Number 10.
resourcefulness. Making something out of nothing. The ability to make something out of nothing. That's being resourceful. You know where to find things. You know where to find people. You know where to get them. You're very resourceful. Even with very little, you can make something big because you're very resourceful. Think of it as your ship sinking in an island. Are you dead or are you going to survive? That's where resourcefulness comes in. There's a Netflix movie about it. Keep breathing. Watch it.
Sounds familiar. I'll have a look.
That's resourcefulness. Those are the 10 secrets. Now you know the secrets. Nelson shared with me the 10 secrets. Knowledge, you got experience, skill, the qualification. Then you have the attitude. Then I have the network. I also have talent. And then my luck. I created my luck. I use my money and now I'm very resourceful. So what am I going to build with this 10 things? What are you going to do with the knowledge, the network? What are you going to do with your resources? Only one. Build your competence, your ability to get things done. Competence. You have to be competent. Competence means certified, sure that he can get or she can get the job done. Competence. All those 10 contribute to one, your own competence. Is the doctor competent or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he has the knowledge. Yes, he has the skill. Yes, he has the attitude. Yes, he has the network, but is he competent? Can he get it done? Look at it in the general's point of view. They were knowledgeable, they were skilled, they had the networks, they had the resources, but they were sent to battle in Ukraine and they got killed by the Ukrainians. You have to question the competence of that guy in battle.
Yep.
Is he competent general or incompetent general? Can he or she get the job done? That's competence.
Such a good key to success. Nelson, I will ask you the last question to end this really good meeting. Looking at the future, I don't know, so far from now, if we remember of Nelson, what will be that impact that you want to live on this world, on the people, on, I don't know if it's students or what, how will you feel like really satisfied? What impact do you want to leave?
Um, tell your own story. This world is not about me. It's about you. It's about us. What is your story? You create your own story. That's why I want to leave you with. One day you will face the toughest audience. And these little things will ask you, Grandpa, Grandpa, what did you do when you were in Australia? Will you tell them lies? Or will your story inspire them?